Hi habit builders, in this video I'll break down my long research on habit formation into a few key concepts on how habits are actually formed, and all of these concepts are built right into the Habit Location app. Habit Location app is strongly backed by science. There are literally hundreds of papers showing the importance of location for habit formation. Habit Location app is already available on the Apple App Store, and it does something no other habit app can do. It reminds you to do your habits when you are in the perfect room of your home, where you do each one of your habit at the exact time when you are most likely to do that habit. Instead of just saying remind me at 6 p.m., the app uses time window concept. You can set it to remind you between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., but only when you are in the living room, which is where you do yoga, so that each reminder comes at the perfect place and time. Notice how every reminder has its own image, and that image motivates you to actually follow through. The app is smart. If you don't do your habit, it will remind you again the next time you are in the right room at the right time. The app actively works in multiple ways to maximize the chances you will follow through and actually do your habit. You can download the app from the link in the description and try it for free. This app can truly change your life by helping you build any habit. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Edin, iOS developer with over 20 years of experience in software development. I've worked for Mayo Clinic and published scientific papers. That research background, combined with my coding skills and my lifelong interest in habit formation, led me to create Habit Location app, the world's first and only habit building app that can send you perfect habit reminders as you walk in the right room of your home, where you do that habit at the exact time when you are most likely to do that habit. So let's break down the science behind the app and see what habit research says about how we can build habits. And don't worry, after showing you real research papers, I'll explain each concept in simple terms and with animations, so you'll understand how you can build any habit and change your life. Dozens of papers mention a concept called consistent context. For example, the scientific paper Making Health Habitual, the psychology of habit formation, shows that decades of research consistently confirm how simply repeating an action in a consistent context leads to that action being automatically triggered whenever those same cues appear. The paper Habit Formation, viewed as a structural change in the behavioral network, explains that when we repeat an action in the same situation, the situation itself starts triggering the behavior rather than the outcome or reward. This paper describes the same idea more simply as same situation. According to Time to Form a Habit paper, people who performed a behavior consistently in a stable context developed much stronger habits, proving the crucial role of context stability in building habits. One other paper points out that behavior is likely to become habitual when it is frequently and consistently performed in the same context. So what is a context? Habits don't just form by repeating an action. They form when you repeat that action in the same situation over and over again. This is what scientists call a consistent context. The two key pieces are your place and time of the day, plus all the other things around you while you are doing your habit. If the place, for example, your living room, the time, for example, 6 to 8 a.m., and the conditions stay the same, your brain wires the environment to the action until it happens automatically. It could be the time of day, like morning. It could be who you're with, maybe on your own or with someone else. And it could be the stuff around you, your yoga mat on the floor, candle burning nearby, your yoga clothes laid out, or even a picture on the wall reminding you to stretch. With habit location, your reminders always appear in the same context, the same room, and the same time for each habit. This is how the app reminders look on iPhone. Notice how each reminder shows up in the right room, right at the time you do your habit. Yoga in the bedroom, meditation in the living room, journaling in the home office. The app helps you connect each room with a specific habit or even multiple habits by keeping the place and time the same. And that's what consistent context is all about. Your brain connects that environment to the action you want to build. And when that happens, congratulations, you've built a new habit. In fact, one research paper literally predicted the app-like habit location will be built someday. It says, in the future, we predict that such apps will use a context-aware technologies, reminding users to perform behaviors when in specific environments. In this way, behavior change apps can facilitate habit formation by connecting specific environmental cues. And that basically means that they predicted that one day the app is gonna send you reminders when you are in the right spot in your home at the right time, when you are in a specific environment, when you are in a specific room of your home, because that's where you usually do your habit. And if you get reminder when you are in the perfect room of your home at the perfect time, the chances of you following through and actually doing that habit will be maximized. And that's exactly what habit location does. Context just means where you are and what time it is. The two main things that shape your habits. Cues are another huge factor in habit formation science. So many papers emphasize the importance of cues and cue-behavior relationship. So what are cues? Your location, the time of the day, and the objects around you. These are all cues. It might be your yoga mat or candle in the living room, a picture on the wall or a bowl of fruit in the kitchen, your shoes by the hallway door, or your meditation pillow in the bedroom. Each of these cues can trigger habits like yoga, eating healthy, journaling, or meditating. And here's the magic. When you repeat the same action in response to the same cue again and again, your brain starts wiring it in. Over time, it stops being just an action. It becomes a habit. Habit location uses the full power of cues to help you build habits that become almost automatic. It combines the four strongest cues: place, time, emotion, and events to create a brand new kind of habit trigger. Reminders appear in the right room at the perfect time with an image that sparks emotion, and they appear while you are moving through your home. So any events in your daily flow are covered, since the app nudges you while you are already up and walking around. It's a completely new kind of cue, a super cue designed to guide and make building any habit easier than ever. There's a fascinating paper called Habit Formation Viewed as a Structural Change in the Behavioral Network. It makes a bold claim: habits are learned response sequences. So what does that mean in plain English? A response is just an action, like exercising, journaling, or drinking water. It's how we respond to cues that remind us to act. A response sequence is simply a chain of small actions, one after the other. Here's the interesting part. Each action we do determines what action we do next. Think about your day. During your morning break, you go to the kitchen and pour a cup of coffee. Then you might grab a cookie, eat a banana, or do some yoga. At first, it's random. Sometimes cookies, sometimes banana, sometimes yoga. But over time, you always grab a cookie. That action becomes a hub in your brain's network, a central point that pulls your other actions toward it. Your brain starts following the same path automatically. This is where habit location helps. It shows an image-based reminder right when you are in the kitchen, at the time you usually grab cookies, redirecting you toward a better action like eating a banana or doing yoga. That new action becomes the new hub instead. Later, during your afternoon break, you might call a friend, check your phone, or stretch. At first, it's different each time. But eventually, you always check your phone. That becomes another hub, pulling your behavior automatically. Again, the app can intervene. It reminds you to stretch instead, creating a new, healthier hub in your network. Here's the big idea. Your habits form a network. Each action is a node, moving from one to the next, like walking to the kitchen and then sipping coffee and then grabbing cookie is a transition. Some nodes become central hubs or habits because they happen every time, and those hubs or habits control what your brain does automatically. With habit location, you can intercept old hubs and create new positive ones, so your network guides you toward better habits instead of bad ones. So what this means is that the app, with its image-based reminders that come when you are in the right room at the right time, can get you to do a new habit or stop doing a bad habit and guide you to a better habit. And once you start stacking positive habits, your whole life transforms. One of the biggest mistakes people make with habits is thinking that intending to act is enough. But here's the truth. A habit only strengthens if you actually do the behavior when the cue shows up. Scientists call this plan enactment. Sounds fancy, but it really just means you have to follow through. You can't just say, I'll exercise later and expect a habit to form. Habits only build when the action gets done. And that's the whole core of habit location. It doesn't just sit there waiting for you to check off progress. It pushes you into action. This is why multiple reminders that the habit location sends to make sure that you do your habit matter. Think of each reminder as another shot on a goal. Maybe you missed the first one because you are busy, but the second or third lands at the perfect time. The more well-timed nudges, the higher the chance you'll do the behavior. Every time the cue leads to action, your brain strengthens the link between the cue and the response. And that repetition is the real engine of habit formation. That's exactly what habit location delivers. Instead of just one notification, it sends multiple smart reminders within a flexible time window. That way, you get enough repetition to lock in the habit until it becomes automatic. Now, you've seen the science that backs up habit location's core principle. Habit app needs to be smart and send you reminders when you are in the right room of your home at the right time. And habit app should do something to motivate you to actually take action and to actually do your habit. And the habit app should remind you multiple times until you complete your habit. The app should be smart enough to know if the habit is not completed and do something the same day to make sure you do that habit, because it's not enough to just take a habit that you didn't do and color it in red and then the next day just show it to you and say, okay, this is what you failed to do the day before. That's not enough. The app needs to be smart enough to know that you didn't do your habit, and then the app needs to try again and send you smart image-based reminder when you are in the perfect room at the perfect time to make sure that you do your habit. That's what a smart habit app does. It makes sure that you do your habit, or at least it maximizes the chances that you will do your habit. Habit location does all of this. It's like having a habit coach in your pocket, or it's like having a friend that knows your patterns, that patiently waits until you are in the right room of your home and then delivers smart reminder with image, and that image is gonna spark emotion, and emotion will motivate you because the image is going to activate the right side of your brain, your visual, emotional and creative side of the brain, and that will motivate you and get you to act, to actually do the habit. And if you do that habit over and over again, you're gonna build that habit, and with the new positive habits you can transform your life. Thanks so much for watching. Habit location app is free to download and try on the Apple App Store. The link is in the description below. Check out other videos on the channel to learn more about habit location app. And don't forget to like and subscribe to help more people learn how to build positive habits and to help more people discover this innovative habit building app.